These levels are good. Can you talk, please?
If you want me to talk, I'll say the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Fuck off, you bastards. He. Out of interest, who's going to hear this? I don't mind in the slightest. I'm just curious. Can you give me just 2 seconds? Oh, you started it. No, okay. The ups are the hardest ones to recognise when you first get them. You assume it's just a very good mood. But the problem is that it doesn't stop there. Which means that rather than it being very pleasant, which it starts off as, life and soul of the party, you make a lot of jokes, you can pun, it will then, for me anyway, become very negative. I'll start to get aggressive. Things will irritate me very, very quickly. People who never irritate me begin to frustrate me. And I will find that I'm boiling with rage about something completely ridiculous. There's bugger all I can do about it. I cannot stop it happening. You do things that are out of character because you have the energy, so you can shoplift, which I've done. I've pinched money from people I've worked for, totally against character, but you think it's okay at the time. I drove a car down from Beachy Head down through Eastbourne, through the town at 3 o'clock in the morning, no driving licence, nothing, drunk, and never, and I'd never had a driving lesson in my life. But I had 2 children at home, and it just didn't occur to me that there was anything wrong with that. But there's so much that's lovely about it. You don't want to take the medication, that's the problem. You love music. 1 note will make you cry. Art, the colours are beautiful, extra beautiful. I can paint and draw and make things when I'm up that I can't do when I'm not up. I don't want to say normal because I'm not abnormal when I've got bipolar, I'm just different. After the high has gone, everything I've created is dreadful. I wrote a story for my children, and I took a long time doing it. I wrote pages and pages and chapters of it, and I kept it and I put it in a file, and I was going to, grow the story. I lost the high, as always happens, and it tends to be the pattern that you have a depression after a high, and in that depression I put the book in the sink and set light to it and burnt the whole thing. I have it in my head now, but that's the only place it is. Depression is, when you're in despair and you become suicidal, what can be worse than that? But there's a predictability about depression that you don't have with an up. With an up, you can do anything, and that's what's terrifying, and you have no ability to control it. You don't want to be alone. With depression, it's quite the opposite. But what you want is to be in this bubble where people can't touch you, where nothing can hurt. And you eventually reach this stage of numbness. That's the hardest stage for people who love you. And it's hurting people you love that's one of the hardest things about bipolar. Whether you're up or down, you tend to do it. All you can try and do is tell people, look, I love you and I know I'm doing this, but I don't mean to. It can get so bad that you do think you can't carry on. I can recover, but I can't carry on as though nothing's going to happen ever again. When you feel as though you want to end it all, it's because you think it's going to happen again, and can you face it again? So that even if you get through it this time, can you get through it the next time? And do you want to face it again? I have 2 sons, and the reason I'm here is because I love them. And I would never, ever have done that to them. So I'm glad I've learnt to live with it because I wouldn't have the pleasures in life I have now otherwise.
When
Stop. Don't laugh.
I'm not.
You are. You've got to take a deep breath. I won't ever be free of it. And it's better now that I'm older and I've learnt a lot. I'm better now than I ever have been in dealing with it. But it's something I probably would say overall I'd rather I didn't have.